A young Matthew Glenn, 5 years old.
Let's listen to Boise Police and Boise Fire's press conference
evening,
on missing Matthew Glenn.
About 5:52 p.m., our patrol officers responded to a call near this location for Matthew. He's a white male juvenile. He is about 2.5 feet tall. He's got brown hair. He was wearing Batman pajamas with a yellow collar, and he was attending his 5th birthday party with his family and friends yesterday. He is nonverbal and he has autism, and he walked away or wandered away from that party. Matthew has not been seen by anybody since then, and we responded with initially patrol officers, but very soon after created a large-scale search effort involving a number of people and a number of entities, not only immediately but throughout the night and continuing into today. A little bit about Matthew, if you see him. He may make loud noises as a way to get people's attention. He is drawn to water. He walks on his toes, and he does not have any shoes on that we know of at this time. I spoke with Matthew's mother just a few minutes ago. Understandably, she is very distraught and is overwhelmed and praying and hoping for the safe recovery of Matthew, as are we all. After the initial response from our patrol officers and the search began last night, every available resource that we could call on was brought to bear. We had drones and have had drones searching throughout the night. Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue personnel responded immediately and began to help. They provided tracking dogs, ATVs, UTVs. Every resource has been engaged in this search. The Boise Fire Department responded. They have been searching. We have certainly concentrated on every potential place that Matthew could be found, including waterways in the area. Last night we sent out what's called a code red message. It's a phone alert to people in the area. So for a 5-mile radius around here, a message went out to every available cell phone and landline. We believe we reached approximately 69,000 people through that effort, and they expanded that and sent an additional message out this morning to an 8-mile radius around this location. Boise Fire Department personnel walked the canal last night. They're doing it again tonight. They have a number of resources. Chief Mark Niemeyer will detail some of the efforts the fire department has been making, and we are also grateful for the support of the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue folks who have been out searching, and you'll hear from one of their directors here shortly. We have been doing door-to-door searches, asking people to be able to get into their backyards and look at virtually everywhere we can. We have a partnership, and we train together with our local law enforcement entities and agencies around us. We have what's called a CART team, a child abduction response team that has been activated, and those personnel are here working. I want to make a note that just because a child abduction response team has been activated does not mean we have any reason to believe that Matthew has been abducted. We don't have any signs of foul play. We don't have any signs that he has entered the water. We don't have really anything to indicate where he might be at this time, but we are looking at every possibility and trying to cover every base as we search for Matthew. Obviously, this is one of the, if not the highest priority in the city right now. We have activated virtually every personnel member that we can. So detectives, community outreach personnel, patrol officers, you name it, we have people here and helping and working on the search. And our partners from Garden City, Ada County Sheriff's Office, Meridian Police are all here as well. Idaho State Police, we thank them for their efforts and for them sending personnel, because this is a very large priority for us. Detectives are looking for any evidence or information regarding criminal activity or an abduction, but there is no indication of that at this time, just so everybody knows. I mentioned earlier I spoke with Matthew's mother. She has been very cooperative and helpful in the search, and we have every reason to believe that she is doing her level best to help us answer questions and give us every bit of information we can have to make this search successful. Our heart goes out to her and to her family members, certainly in this time of overwhelming trial and a difficult time as she worries about her son. Just a bit about the search area right now. We are focusing our efforts again on the area immediately around us, but we are searching the waterways between Veterans Memorial Parkway all the way to Eagle at this point. So the other folks will tell you a little bit more about those efforts, and I would turn the time over to Chief Niemeyer right now to talk about Boise Fire's efforts and the things we're doing collaboratively with them. Chief Niemeyer.
Great. Thank you, Chief Weininger. Good morning, everyone. Mark Niemeyer, Fire Chief for the Boise Fire Department. As Chief Weininger alluded to last night, the Boise Fire Department was dispatched along with BPD to the report of a missing child. We sent approximately 15 firefighters to this location. That included 2 fire engines, a brush truck, as well as our dive team out of Station 1 in downtown. When they arrived, they immediately developed a plan to search the canalways. I do want to reiterate at this time, we had no information that the child was in the water. There's no evidence that would suggest the child was in the water. However, as part of our broad search, we entered the waterways on the downstream side. We do have about 300 yards of the canal that runs under State Street. This was a very risky operation for our dive team. They used snorkel masks, had about 24 to 36 inches of clearance from the top of the water to the bottom of State Street as they searched that canal. We concluded about 10 o'clock last night. We did not find any victims. We concluded that search because of darkness and the inability to see. As Chief Weininger alluded to, we are back out joining the search party today. We do have our dive team on the river. They have been going up and down the river from, as Chief Weininger alluded to, VMP to Eagle. We'll continue to do that search. The Boise Fire Department, along with the other responders, remain committed to conducting this search until we find this child. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dave with Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, and then we'll be back for questions.
Good morning. I'm Ron Christensen with Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue. We responded last night to the request from Boise Police. We came out with 30 personnel last night. We had mountain bike teams covering parts of the Greenbelt through some of the local neighborhoods. We had drones in the air in conjunction with those flown by BPD. We also used UTVs with flashing lights and attractants. That's one of the things that Matthew has interest in, and so we wanted to use that, as well as we played a song that he's very familiar with and responds to, and that's that the wheels on the big bus go round and round. And so we'll probably be implementing some of those efforts again today. Right at the moment, we've got personnel along with BPD personnel that are working part of the Boise Valley Canal, and then we've got a inflatable kayak with also another member of BPD that is floating the Farmers Union Canal from Collister up towards Eagle. We're going to be putting some additional resources into some areas that we did search last night, because statistics show us that you don't just search an area once, because daylight now gives us a different light than what we had seen last night. So we will be searching some of those areas once again. So just grateful for any information that the community might have that they can provide us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Chief Niemeyer. I would now like to give a message to the members of our public. What do we need from you? First of all, we have set up a tip line specifically for Matthew. The number is 208-373-5411. Again, 208-373-5411. That is a tip line specifically for tips related to Matthew. It will be staffed by Boise Police personnel. You don't need to go through dispatch or call dispatch, although you can always do that for sure. If you have a tip about Matthew, we would ask you to use this tip line specifically. If you live anywhere in this area, please check Ring or security doorbell cameras, any surveillance systems or cameras you may have at your home or a business that may have picked up Matthew somewhere in the last 15 or 17 hours. Please check for your cameras for that. Anyone with property near the canals along State Street towards Eagle are asked to check their surroundings and their property, including the canal banks and nearby brush. There are two canals, the Boise Valley Canal and the Farmers Union Canal, that we are certainly looking at. At this time, we do not have any assignments available for members of the general public to help with the search. Once we do a coordinated search of the canal banks with the tracking dogs and the trained personnel, we will, if we believe a public search, a wider search is necessary, we will put out a plea for volunteers to come at that time, and we will be prepared to organize and direct their efforts. At this time, we do not have that capability or that necessity in our estimation. So we would ask people not to come and try to search on their own. But if you happen to be walking in the area, you're on the green belt, you're anywhere in the neighborhood, please keep your eyes open for Matthew. I'm sure his picture will be widely circulated after this. And keep an eye open for him or any indication or sign that he has been near where you are. So we greatly appreciate our partners. We thank everyone who is making the effort to bring Matthew home safe. We are committed to doing our best to do just that. But we know that any possibility could be in existence at this time, and so we are asking for everyone to pay attention, keep their eyes open, and help us find Matthew and bring him home to his family safely. At this time, I'll be happy to try and answer any questions you have. Don?
Chief, how long are you going to keep the command center here at the church, and can we expect press conferences throughout the day?
We will likely actually be moving our main command post to a different location, but we will keep personnel here and probably keep the command post trailer here and so forth. So if we do updates, it'll probably be from this location. I would imagine in the future we'll let you know if that changes. And we will update you again later today. I don't know exactly what time, but we really need to make sure we've searched some areas again and then have a plan moving forward so that we have some new information to share if we come back to you.
Who was the last person to see Matthew, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, it was his mother or family members there at the party. That's the last time we definitively had someone see Matthew was there at the party. Yes, sir.
Is it common you guys receive calls like this, or is it
Is it common to receive calls?
Yeah.
We respond to lost child calls fairly routinely, yes. In the vast majority of circumstances, we find the missing child within a fairly short time, within a few hours. I don't know exactly what the statistics are, but the vast majority of time, we find them before now. So that's why this is unusual for us, and that's why we are deploying so many resources. Once it gets late at night, we have particular challenges in these types of situations, but if it goes through an entire night and into the next day, we absolutely devote a lot of resources to a situation like this.
You're listening to Boise Police Chief Ron Weiniger providing an update on the search for missing 5-year-old Matthew Glenn.